Hi, a movie I watched this weekend was Twilight's Last Gleaming, the 1977 nuclear thriller directed by Robert Aldrich. It's the story of three senior US Air Force officers who, having been imprisoned in a stockade, escape and, using an elaborate plan, manage to break into a military silo where nuclear missiles are stored, locking themselves inside and confining the others to their rooms. The leader of them, played by Burt Lancaster, contacts the White House and offers an ultimatum. Either a specific document is to be released, or he will launch the missiles, provoking World War III and the end of global civilization. It turns out that the document is proof that the American government perpetuated the Vietnam War as a show of strength to the Soviet Union, knowing that the war was unwinnable and sacrificing thousands of American lives just to show credibility. This is an awkward one because it's such a poorly made film, but it has all the ingredients of something that ought to work. It has a terrific cast of Burt Lancaster, Charles Durning, Paul Winfield, Burt Young, Joseph Cotten, Melvyn Douglas, really great actors. You have a great director in Robert Aldrich, who had previously made a sort of a nuclear-themed thriller with Kiss Me Deadly. And yet none of it works. And I think a big problem is that it has almost no tension. And Aldrich doesn't really seem to care about having a sense of tension within the story. Much of the film is set really in just two rooms, the control room of the missile silo and the Oval Office in the White House. But it's all shot in medium shot. There's no sense of tension in the frame. There's no sense of sweat beading on people's foreheads. There's no sense of people are staring down the end of the world. But no one ever seems to be that upset or that concerned. And when we have various twists and turns in the plots, like an attempt by military forces to retake the bunker, it's done in such a comical way, like hovering a helicopter above the single revolving security camera so that people can drop down without being seen. And why are there no other cameras pointing in that direction? There's so many things about this don't make sense. And it just winds up feeling sloppy and stupid and half-assed. There are good performances. There is good production design. Charles Durning is an unusual choice to play president, but I think it works. But there's no arc to any of the characters. Everyone ends up where they were when the movie started, and there's no real development. There's so much running on the spot as well. The film is well over 2 hours long and could easily have had half an hour of material cut. There are scenes that add nothing. There is no character development, so there's no point in having all this extraneous dialogue, and they add nothing to the story. The themes about America projecting a sense of credibility is interesting, but it's really just restated several times and not developed. And even the detail of what the document is revealed weirdly late in the stories. So it means that the stakes of why the characters are doing this is left quite vague for a long time for no reason. It's a surprisingly sloppily made, slapped together film. It was an independent production, a joint venture between American and West German financiers, and produced by Lorimar, who a few years later would hit real success with Being There, which also starred Melvyn Douglas. But this is a weak, shoddy film, a very late entry in the sort of nuclear blackmail concept. And I mean, in all honesty, the underwater battles in Thunderball are much more exciting than anything we see here.